Hello and welcome. Today I will talk about arranged marriages in Japan, or better known as matchmaking. I mean, some books call it arranged marriages and some books call it matchmaking. It's more like a matchmaking than an arranged marriage where two people don't have any say. It's an equal. I think this is a very interesting topic. And in Japan it's called miai or omiai. You have a go-between in this. So somehow the Japanese call the go-between or also caretaker. And maybe if the matchmake is successful, he might get money. The caretaker might be a relative, a neighbor, acquaintance, friend, senior at work, co-worker, business partner, or someone you're related on a daily basis. Many foreigners basically feel repulsive about this topic and will reject it immediately before even knowing what it's about. They assume it is that people decide over the lives of other people, how to get married or who should get married, and there is no love. It's cold, mechanical, but it is actually not. So they're opposite to romantic love. Today everybody can meet. It is not like 200-300 years ago, and it's maybe hard to meet. Today you go in mixed schools, you meet maybe your sweetheart in high school or wherever. But there were times, even in Western worlds, there were arranged marriages. It is estimated that 500,000 marriages taking place in Japan. 1/3 or 2/3 are arranged marriages. The numbers are splitting. If you go to Wikipedia to arranged marriage in Japan, it tells you from 6.2%. And at the end of the day, it is hard to find out if people will agree to this, to say, oh yeah, there was a go-between and this is how we met. So let's start how this works. What you need to know before we dive into this arranged marriage thing: in olden days, Japan was a matriarchal society. So the woman held considerable power. And even today, I would say, from my experience, that once you're married, you have a lot of power in the family. In one of my articles on my blog years ago, I wrote about it, that my husband, after we got married, the day after or the month after, I cannot really remember, basically when I moved in with him, he sat me down on the table and put everything what he owned on the table and said, this is what I'm earning, this is what I'm owning, this is what is my property, and da 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 da. And I want you to handle it from today onwards. I couldn't speak the language at that time. Even today, I'm not very good in speaking the language. I can communicate, yes, but I couldn't also write Japanese language, yeah. And I declined. I said, I would love to do it, but no, I can't do it because, first of all, in Germany, a husband would never do that. They do not trust their wives with the money. This is also from my experience. Maybe some other people will say something different, but from my experience. And yeah, I believe both people should be involved in money matters, because both need to know what the other one is spending or needs to spend, whatever, if one is not working. So this was one of my culture shocks when I found out, wow, the woman is in charge of the money and she gives the husband pocket money. I was very surprised about this. So this already indicates, even later in life, in Japan, they adopted more the Chinese culture, where the man was in charge and the man was a protector, and the woman took a secondary role, at least to the history books. When I arrived here, it was not the case. I know from somebody I met in a language class back in New Zealand, he said his father said, "Ish," and the mother jumped. So there could be also cases like this, of course. There is always from both sides something. But let's go back to the arranged marriage. So it usually happens like this. Either the parents think their son or the daughter is at an age where they should get married, or, which was, by the way, in Japan, if you're 25, you're too old to get married. Today, the age, of course, goes higher, like even in the Western world. But this was, I would say, my generation. And then the next thing is they propose to their children, I will get a go-between or a matchmaker, and let's see. So there is one thing, what we believe in the Western world, that they get married without consent. That's not true. Both need to be interested and want to. So that's the big difference. The first thing what the couple has to do, the future couple has to do, to create a book, basically a profile of themselves, a resume and a picture. So they can use this book like application map and can use it for the other party. How they chose the right partner, of course, sometimes me as a mother, I want maybe the best girl for my son, if I would do it. Yeah, best from a royal family, yes. No, but you want the best for your children in general. However, maybe parents would have used it in olden days to get into another family, have a relationship with this other family, to get their son or their daughter married to the other family's son or daughter. Yes, of course, this could happen, it depending on the personality maybe of the parents. But in general, this is not the case. The case is the go-between will look at the compatibility quotient is based on social status, wealth, education, interests, and hobbies, outside hobbies. So once they found a match, they will send this match with a resume and photo to the other party, parents. So the parents are first instance being involved in this. And then the next thing is, once the parents agree to it, they will pass this resume with photo and everything to their daughter or son. If they disagree, it will go back and they will not inform their children. If the parents agree to it and they pass the resume to the young adults, they have the say. In that moment, the say begins for them. So if you have maybe the wrong person and the parents don't like him for their daughter, it will go back and the daughter will never hear about it. If they have a good match, they will introduce it to their daughter and she might reject it and nothing will happen. Basically, they will go on some kind of date to meet each other in person. But it could happen that the daughter say, "Oh, that photo, I'm not going with him. I will not go on a date. Terrible." And that's it. A lot of young Japanese reject this because it reduces human beings to come to some kind of commodity. And they will be inspected for every flaw in their personality or upbringing or whatsoever. So they definitely reject the custom of miyai. Whereby others say it's a great idea, especially the people who are not so self-conscious about themselves. They say it's a great idea as long as people say what they're thinking. So if they do not like the other person, they should reject. Meaning, if they meet for the first time, that they truly say, yes, I want to see you again, or I do not want to see you again. Of course, in today's times, people are mixing more and more with each other, and they have more opportunities to meet other people. But there are also individuals who are not that social, and they still refer to this as a good opportunity to find the right partner in life. Other cultures who are doing this are the Chinese and the Indians, and I personally know it from my time in Singapore. I had a lot of Indian friends who were introduced by their parents, and the marriage was arranged. At that time, I was surprised that this practice still happened, and I was very opposed to it because I thought it's the worst thing what you can do. But I changed my mind today. I believe for those who suits it, it's a good idea. I wouldn't just brush it off the table if this comes, provided that both partners are not forced to get married. This is a website in Japanese, I show you here, about successful arranged marriages or matchmaking here in Japan. I thought it was very interesting. I translated it here for you. You can go yourself to this website. You can visit this website and translate it to English. I hope you liked this video, and I see you next Thursday again. Bye!